Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod, here to talk about Week 11's Wednesday special eviction episode of Big Brother 27. Last time on Big Brother, infidelity won the day, once again, when Vince won his fourth HOH, and in the Mastermind Sanctum, he nominated Keanu and Ava for a sacrificial eviction. Before I dive in, I put a link in the description to my playlist to catch up on my recaps. If you like the content, consider liking, subscribing, and using my link to try Paramount Plus for free. But let's dive into it. We pick back up where we left off. Keanu and Ava were just nominated. Vince wants Keanu out, hoping to claim Keanu's eviction on his resume. I don't know what's more blank, Vince's Big Brother resume or his professional resume. The mastermind is still messing around with these players. Every time the bell tolls, they have to go to the sanctum to see what bullshit he's got in store. Keanu's still trying to talk to Vince and convince Vince he's playing Morgan's game. Keanu tells us that Vince is a spineless weasel, and if he loses Big Brother, he did it to himself. Morgan is thrilled that Keanu's on the block. Him getting out puts them one step closer to her ideal final three of she, Vince, and Ashley. Ava and Ashley worry that a Keanu veto win would put them both on the block together, but they plot against Morgan. Ashley can win the veto and use it, forcing Vince to nominate Morgan and take the frontrunner out. The mastermind chimes in, telling them that the veto comp is right now. They'll have to put together a portrait of the mastermind's pet weasel Andy, who's missing his daddy. It's tiny veto. They need to use tweezers to stack tiny puzzle pieces. The first player to build the mastermind's portrait will win the veto. They get started. Keanu gets to an early lead. Ashley is still on board to win this and target Morgan, but good for Morgan, Ashley sucks at this. Morgan is shown struggling the least, similar to the last stacking comp where they barely showed her on screen because she was doing so much better than everyone. Vince almost wins this, but his stack falls, and Morgan eventually wins her fourth veto, safe for the fifth week in a row from comp wins. After the veto, Keanu's frustrated and admits that Rachel was right all along. Sounds like Vince has lost Keanu's jury vote completely, and Keanu once again tells Vince that he's a bad ally, and lets Vince know if he stays loyal to Morgan, he has no shot at winning this game. At night, Morgan and Vince are speaking in code. Basically, Vince is telling Morgan that he likes her, and she's shutting him down because he has a girlfriend, also potentially because she's not interested. The next day, it's Morgan's birthday, and the mastermind is for some reason treating them to a gift of videos from home. The messages are all sweet. Ava's boyfriend is there, and Vince's girlfriend is not there. Vince is upset that his girlfriend didn't send a video. He continues to deny to us that he and Morgan are doing anything more than friends, which is probably why they purposefully included a clip of Vince confessing his feelings in bed. He says he needs to win because he can't fathom losing and coming home being single. Oh, honey, that would never happen. You're gonna lose, go home, and be single, and have no job. Keanu has a decent pitch to Ashley, asking her to keep him because he'll help her to get Morgan out, and that they stand a fair chance against each other. She's receptive. At the veto meeting, Morgan decides not to use the tiny veto, which is so cute. The mastermind chimes in, telling them they only have 1 hour before the eviction, and they get to scrambling. Ava tells us she's just gonna chill out and let them vote out Keanu, but Keanu gets to work, asking Vince to save him if it's a tie, telling Vince that if he doesn't save Keanu, he will not have Keanu's jury vote. Keanu calls Vince the most untrustworthy person on the entire West Coast, and at the eviction, the mastermind reveals that the vote will be public. Ashley and Morgan will stick a needle in the voodoo doll of the player they'd like to evict. Morgan and Ashley both stab Keanu's doll. Now, what if voodoo dolls really worked? This man would be in bad shape. So we lose Keanu here in 5th place, who preseason I ranked 13th, feeling like he was all over the place in those interviews, and I do feel he held up to that through the whole season, all over the place. His job was listed as Dungeon Master, and we never saw much of that besides a few references. It would have been funny if he led the group in a game to see him in action, but we didn't. Not that there wasn't a lack of entertainment from him, he was involved in many arguments, usually with Rachel, but sometimes with others, like with Jimmy and Ava, where he said she had a prompt. The frenemy alliance with Rachel was the story of the season for me, and that was cut so short when Rachel went out how she did. We never got to see how it would have turned out. Would Keanu have been loyal or part of Rachel's demise? We'll never know. Strategy-wise, he's god-awful. He rode the bottom of my player rankings, constantly having bad reads in the game. He starts the game off being targeted by Vince and Jimmy, and Rachel and the girl step up to save him. He gets the opportunity to keep working with them and be on that side of the house, but he still chooses to take the hard route and work with the guys who he felt were loyal to him. But as Rachel repeatedly told him, the guys wanted nothing to do with him and wanted him out. So he puts himself in a bad spot time and time again, only helping to save himself in the beginning with competition wins, which extended his expiration date. But ultimately, he gets ousted yet again by trusting a man in Vince who he could not trust, which led to his demise. While I'm not a big fan of Keanu's as a game player due to his frustratingly bad reads, I think he's very funny. His DRs were memorable. When he puts on voices, they do tickle me. The Butler punishment was the highlight of his season. He leaned into it and camped it up, and he's someone I would love to see again on reality TV. Maybe Big Brother, but I don't need it. I'd love to see him on The Traitors, where his bad reads would be hilarious, but also on The Challenge. We weren't really able to see him show what he's made of in challenges. I need to see Keanu in a hall brawl yesterday. So that's all I have to say about this episode. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Keanu's eviction. If you like the content, consider liking and subscribing. I'll be back tomorrow to recap the live eviction and with my week 11 player rankings. Until then, you know where to find me. Bye.